Love finances, the other F word, and want to support the show? Become a patron by going to patreon.com/FTOFW. You'll get special features, a shout out on the air, and early releases. Or if you prefer, pick up some merchandise at financestheotherfword.com.
As fantastic a CFP as Mel O is, as wonderful an attorney as I am, and as good as Stormy is at whatever it is he does, please do note that anything said in our podcasts are our opinions alone and are not meant to be taken as financial or legal advice.
Welcome to Finances, the Other F Word, a Gen Xer podcast for musicians and music lovers, where we discuss money and music without all the pretentious bullshit. Here are your hosts, Zoe Terry, attorney at large, Stormy Andrews, founder of Yokel Local Marketing, and Mel O, certified financial planner and author of Finances, the Other F Word. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey guys, welcome to Finances, the Other F Word. And today, this is a fucking cool show. I've been trying to get Kevin on the podcast for a number of months, but the motherfucker never checks his DMs. He is the basis for Damage Inc. of Southern California, a tribute to fucking Metallica. Yes. And I am wearing a Damage Inc. shirt that they autographed.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Those things lasted?
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't washed it, have you?
No. This, if I hadn't washed it, it would just be standing up by itself, you know. I just take it off and lean it against the wall until I wear it again, you know. And so the reason why I wanted to have these guys on the podcast, well, not these guys, Kevin specifically on the podcast.
And multiple people. Just wait.
Yeah.
Of course, I change personalities as this thing goes on. So.
I'm liking it. And so before we start talking a little bit about the band, Kevin is drinking. So Kevin, what are you drinking first?
I am drinking Heater Allen Pilsner from brewery in Oregon. It's really good. It's actually really hard to find, but it's McMinnville, Oregon. It's really, really good.
It looks good. And it looks nice. It has a nice body, I guess. That's what beer does.
Oh, yeah.
Beer has
Body and a bit of head.
Sure. And when I drink it,
Sure.
I get a nice body.
And a little bit of head. You're not supposed to drink till we toast, fucker.
Oh, he's having.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there were no rules on this thing.
Yeah, there
aren't.
is. You're right. But I mean, so Zoe, what are you drinking?
Today, Mel O, I have opted for Mike's hard pineapple and strawberry for some reason.
And Mel has no mixers up here, but she does have a bottle of Kettle One. So she's just going to take a quick little swig.
Going for it.
So to everyone, cheers.
Cheers.
Tink, tink. All right, let me drink a little.
Refreshing.
It sounds so smooth.
Yeah.
Let me take another swig just to make sure.
Are you just going to make
Just in
sure?
case. You gotta chase it.
Sure.
You gotta get a chaser.
Mm.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's how you do it.
Oh, your
Wow,
head's
that's some
gonna hurt in the
20.
morning.
That's here. You know what? Kettle One, if you want to sponsor the show, look at that bitch. Yeah. Oh my God. That was. Whoo. That was.
Well, that's doctor's orders. It's okay.
Yeah, good.
Now
I
let's
think
have
my
a little
nipples got
drink
hard
of
on
the
that
iced
one.
tea. Oh,
Mhm. You know,
that's good
usually when
stuff.
dude, when you take a hard drink of liquor, like my nipples always get hard. If I take a shot, it just is what it is. But let's not talk about nipples right now.
No.
Let's talk about
a little bit
fucking
later.
Damage Inc. So you guys, there's a ton of tribute bands that are out there, and let's be for real, half of them suck. And the thing is that there's only a couple tribute bands that I have seen that have blown my fucking socks off. One of them is Thigh Voltage, AC/DC cover band out of Vegas here with Leona X on guitar, and she's fucking phenomenal. Angus Young is her guitar hero. She's amazing. Plus she has her own band, the Leona X band. The other one is the Iron Maidens.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
Good friends of ours.
fuck.
Good friends of ours. They're amazing.
Oh my God. Okay. When
So
you
good.
next, so there's two things that you're going to have to give us out of this podcast,
Okay.
Kevin. Then the next time Damage Inc. comes to Vamped, every time I try to get a table and we can't get a table. So if you can help Zoe and I get a table, that would be great.
Yep.
And then next time the Iron Maiden come, you come with them, and that's going to be a fucking chaos night.
I would love to. Depends on our show schedule, obviously, but yeah, that's always a good time.
Yeah, the Iron Maidens, it's an all-female tribute band to Iron Maiden. And as a woman, I'm embarrassed to say this, but when I very first saw them years ago, I thought, oh God, okay, we get it. You know, we're women, we like Iron Maiden. And they went into, I can't even remember what song it was. And within like four measures, I was like, oh, okay, I'm staying for the whole fucking concert. And then of course, last but not least, is fucking Damage Inc. Now, there is a very popular, very prominent, awesome rock bar here, Vamped Vegas, and vampedvegas.com. And it's owned by the Count from Counting Cars, which is that a motorcycle show?
Yeah. So no, custom cars. So
Custom
they
cars,
take a
yeah.
bunch of cars and they customize them.
Okay. So I'm gonna have another swig. So
Yeah, that was quick.
See, that was quick. We
Just
said,
a little-
what did
just
we
a
clock
little
her at? We said it was like, you know,
I think we said
I think we did
10
5
minutes. but-
yeah.
nope, that's good. I'm done now. That was that, but the cockles of my heart are warming up. So
Mm.
and the other one is Damage Inc.
Oh, thank
And when these fuckers play, you cannot get in Vamped. It is, I see a ton of shows at Vamped, and they turn people away at the door when Damage Inc. is playing. And the thing that's so awesome about this band, besides the fact that they cover arguably one of the best bands of all time, but they play it almost, I mean, I don't want to say identically because they're their own individual musicians.
Oh no,
So
but that's the goal. That's the goal when you're doing it, is you want to sound just like the band. You want to sound like the band that you're tributing live.
Right.
That's exactly what you want to do. People are not there to see you. They're there to listen and celebrate the music of Metallica with you. And
Right.
so first and foremost, you have to be true to that music, right? If you play I mean, you could take some liberties and do some fun stuff or find things that Metallica did live and bring those into the show and give your own little personal flavor. But for the most part, people are there for the music, you know, of what you're tributing. So if you don't have the music first, then you know, everything else. Some tribute bands out there go for the look first, and they don't have the
Right.
sound.
Right.
Like my brother, who's our singer, looks just like Hetfield. We just got
He does.
lucky. We got
Yeah,
lucky that he
does.
looks just like him, right? The rest of us, I don't look like Robert Trujillo at all. I don't know if you know this, but a little bit like Jason
shocking.
Newsted, but you know, he hasn't been in the band for a long time now.
Right.
But you know, we always try and make sure that we're bringing the music first, right? And that's what's the most important, and that's what I think people come out and that's what people enjoy is being able to hear the songs played live and not have to spend, you know, $300 in Ticketmaster fees to be able to sit in the cheap seats, you know.
Right, absolutely. And the thing that's so fantastic about Damage Inc. is, of course, of Southern California, make sure you're looking at the right one, is the fact that when these fuckers play, they're not, you know, I've seen a ton of bands that come through, they play 2 hours, they're fucking off the stage. These motherfuckers will play and play and play, and they play old stuff and they play new stuff. I mean, they run the fucking gambit. So besides all of that, besides the fact that they're packed full of I'm sorry, how many people are in the band?
4.
Oh,
There are 4
okay.
of us in the band.
4. Okay. That's a,
Oh, oof.
if you had,
That's a good number. That's a good number.
if you're a patron, you know why I asked that question, and it's, I'm not actually a fucking idiot. So not only are there 4 fucking amazing musicians, but these guys have been doing it.
There's 3 amazing musicians and a bass player. So let's be clear.
But
I have
thought
never
that-
claimed, legal disclaimer, I have never claimed to be an amazing musician. Okay.
Yeah, but I thought that goes without saying that bass players aren't. So I guess I didn't know I needed to qualify that. So next time, duly noted, I will completely qualify it for
It's
it.
like, hey, you're a bass player. So what else do you do? Do you load equipment? Do you like do accounting? Do you do like, what else do you do here?
Yeah.
with the band?
Sometimes
Like,
I tune
it's great.
guitars, you know.
So you're not
It's
really
cool.
a guitar player. You're like, you play that big kind of guitar thing, but what else can you do for me?
and but you guys are all showmen. You're all showmen, and it's fantastic. So you guys have been going for how many years now?
17.
17 fucking years, you guys.
I started a cover band with my brother in 1998 when I was still in the Marines. I had just come back from Okinawa. I had learned how to play bass, met a couple friends, and we started a band and brought my brother in 1998. And we played for about 6 years like that, different iterations. And then we met a guy who's actually my current roommate, this guy, Dave Gold, who became our lead guitar player in 2004. September 2004, I think, was our very first show as Damage Inc. And so we've been doing that. Now it's what, 2035? I don't remember with COVID years.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. Who
17
knows?
coming up on September will be our 17th anniversary.
Wow.
And you guys pack it in. And this is the reason why I wanted you on the show so much, because there's a lot of financial stuff behind that. I mean, you have to have the musicianship and the showmanship. And obviously the music you're playing is fantastic because it's from Metallica. But the thing is that you need, you know, especially the size shows you guys play for a tribute band. I mean, you guys really pack them in. So give me kind of a rundown of like the, you know, the very beginnings and the gigs you got versus how it kind of morphed into getting the gigs that you guys get now, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of it too. I mean, we started 2004 playing little bars for a couple $100, right? Or ticket sales or whatever you can. And I mean, the real trick, don't tell anybody the secret, but the real trick is stay together, right? Be good people, be easy to work with, right? If you're easy to work with, if you're professional, that goes beyond anything else, right? Because if you could be the best band in the world, if you're a pain in the butt, nobody wants to work with you, right? So professionalism is key, all right?
Right.
And then just one of those things of every show you play, you get 2-3 fans. And hopefully those 2-3 fans come back to the next show and the next, and you just build and build and build. And then social media came around, right? We started off with the MySpace and, you know, having a Yahoo mailing list and all those different things. And, you know, now Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and everything. So having that at least helped. I used to drive, like we'd play a show in San Diego, which is an hour and a half south. I would drive 2 weeks prior to our show down to the venue, pass out flyers. I'd go the week before the show down there, pass out flyers, do all this stuff. And just to keep trying to get people to show up. Right. So grinding and grinding and grinding to get it. And we hit a point. There was actually, I want to say 2008. So about 4 years in, we got very lucky. A couple things happened. One, there was a big Metallica tribute called Creeping Death, who was in the area. They were the big Metallica tribute and we were the little one coming up. They stopped playing. So when they stopped playing, it opened this big gap in the Metallica tribute world, right? So all of a sudden, the gigs that they had, they're calling us now to see if they wanted a Metallica band. They did, you know, they had their band that they liked. The band isn't together anymore, so they'll go to the next best thing. So we got to go in and we got to play at the Santa Fe Springs swap meet, which is really silly when you think swap meet. You guys have the Broadacres Marketplace in Vegas. It's the sister of the Santa Fe Springs swap meet,
right?
But it was like 1,500, 500 to 2,000 people throughout the day coming through to see you.
Right.
So you get put in front of this giant audience. And from there, we got to go play like the House of Blues Anaheim. And from the House of Blues Anaheim, that's 2,000 people that you're playing in front of. It's just, so it's like bigger and bigger and bigger as it went. And I think 2008 for us was kind of a turning point where the shows really started ramping up as far as the attendance and the people. And then we got to go on Access TV's The World's Greatest Tribute Bands. So Katie Darrell called us and had us on the show. And so then we're on, you know, cable TV. And so we get calls all the time now out of the blue for our management saying, hey, I saw you guys on Access. Can you come out to the middle of Ohio? Or we play this amazing venue, a group of venues in Atlanta called 37 Main. And they found us from Access TV and from our friends in Queen Nation. So another amazing tribute band, by the way.
I've never seen them.
Oh my God. If you like Queen, these guys are the real deal. We play about 40 or 50 shows a year. They play like 150 shows a year. Like they'll travel out. They'll go out like on a Wednesday and come home on a Sunday and do a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You know, they'll do 3 or 4 nights a weekend at different venues. You know, they're absolutely pinnacle. A friend of ours, I'm going to stop me if I'm talking a lot. I like to talk.
No,
that's why you're here, babe. Yeah.
So a friend of ours actually came up with an interesting idea. He was looking at how popular tribute bands are. And he actually started equating the popularity of the tribute band with the number of record sales that band has. So if you're tributing a band that has a lot of record sales, like the Beatles, like, you know, Elton John, Prince, you know, things like that, some really popular, your likelihood of being, as long as you do it well, right, you already have a huge popularity out there, so it's easier to get big. So Metallica is probably the biggest metal band, well, actually not probably, is the biggest metal band of all time, right? But it's still a metal band. So we do really well for what we're doing with the metal tributes and traveling and the shows that we're playing. We do really well, but compared to some of the more popular pop bands or you know, classic rock, Eagles tributes, things like that, those guys are playing huge shows to, like, you know, that's like the 10,000 person show. I think the most we've ever played to was actually in Vegas. Well, there's two. We played the Comp Kegger at the Hard Rock Hotel pool, at the rehab pool. and that I think was 4,000. And then we did out here we do the Orange County Fair, which is this giant hangar. The hangar itself holds 1,500, and then there's about a sea of people beyond that at the food court that watch. So it's about 5,000, I think,
Right.
all said and done. But some of these other like classic rock tributes are playing to these, like, I mean, you can't tell that it's not the real band, right? Because for the amount of people that have shown up for the venues. My financial journey with music started in 2005 when I received my first 1099 for a show. Right. And a couple things occurred to me. One, I have income now and I got to talk about it, right? I can't tell the IRS I didn't get this, right?
You can try.
They're not really going to believe me when I say, hey, I don't know what this $800 1099 is for. I realized a couple things. One, you got to start doing something to claim expenses and things on your taxes. And two, we would say we got $100 for a show. What used to happen is drummer gets 25, guitar player gets 25, my brother gets 25, I get 25, and then I spend $40 on flyers. Right. So everyone walks home with $25 and I'm like negative 15 to play a show.
Right.
So it's like, wait a sec, we have to have like an operating budget. Like, how does this work? Like, we try and run it lean. We don't have a ton of needs from an operations standpoint, but if you need new merchandise or if you need new banners or stage props or, whatever else, like that money's got to come from somewhere. So I started it with Excel. Actually, I was all on Excel until this last year when I got an audit for my 2018 taxes. So I got through it. Everything was fine. My accountant was fantastic. So Steve Mangione, look him up. He was
cheers.
Absolutely. Oh, cheers to Steve. He saved my bacon. So, I mean, I wasn't hiding anything. I wasn't trying to obscure anything from the IRS, but going through an audit, you go through all yourself.
That's not fun.
And when you're running off an Excel spreadsheet, it's like, you got to go dig, and you're digging through a giant box full of receipts. It's like, that's not the best way to go. So this last year, I finally moved over to QuickBooks and I started putting everything in QuickBooks and learning it. And there's some nuance and some challenges. I had a bookkeeper that I hired out of Texas to come and help me set everything up. But what I found in the music industry, there are a lot of people that are out there to take advantage of people. Right. And we've had two drummers our entire career. My old drummer Boyd retired. I want to say 2011, maybe 2011, somewhere around there. And we got our new drummer Tone. Well, he had some experiences where he was getting paid from whoever was getting the money, and whoever was getting the money was getting way more money than they were letting on to the rest of the band.
Oh,
right. So they were getting $1,500 and they were giving everybody $100 and telling everyone they got 500.
Fuckers.
Yeah.
Right.
So I never wanted to do that. So what I've had is I made a spreadsheet. It's still a spreadsheet because I will get into some other cool stuff on how I handle this, but I had a spreadsheet that I gave access to the entire band to, so they can see all the money that goes into the account, all the money that comes out of the account, what it was spent for, how much we're making per show. If they ever wanted to see the check, I'll show them the check, right? How much they're making individually, so that it's completely above board. Everybody knows what's going on. Right. That way there's no quarrels. There's no suspicion that anyone's pocketing money that they're, or lying about it. Right. And then, so the end of the year, we do all that. And then I 1099 the rest of the guys. So I take all the income. I am damaging to take all the income. And then I 1099 the other guys for the portion that, we paid them or that they got from the shows, just to make it easier. So, and that's getting more challenging with California's AB5.
Is that, I'm not familiar with that form. What's that about?
Are you familiar with the PRO Act?
I'm not actually. I'm not a CPA, so I try to stay away from tax.
This is not anything. This is going to be very impactful if it goes national. I don't want to get too political, but California last year, 2019, passed a law called AB5, and AB5 basically changed the rules for what an independent contractor is. And so now an independent contractor can only be someone that does work outside of the direct line of business of the person paying them. So if I'm a musician and I pay another musician as an independent contractor,
Mhm.
They're doing my business, so technically they need to be an employee. So
Employee. Oh my God.
Wow.
they went after, they'd set it up to go after Uber and Lyft and all
Right.
those guys.
Right. Yeah.
Because they tried
But-
to unionize and they tried to force them to take them on as employees and they lost.
Yeah, so AB5 basically came up and said that it's a big union. I believe it's a big union bill because it basically says you can't hire an independent contractor to do the same work that you do normally. That's an employee. And then what they did to fix it is they started carving out little niches. Well, okay, well, it doesn't apply to musicians. Well, doesn't apply to musicians unless those musicians are part of this kind of orchestra, or it's got this like ridiculously long list of who it doesn't affect.
Right.
And so they have to carve all these little like exceptions out, like hairdressers aren't part of it, but lawyers obviously aren't part of it because it's written by lawyers. Right. So
Lawyers.
so with that, there's some challenges coming up. I see now there's challenges to that coming through it just went through the Ninth Circuit and it got pushed onto the truck drivers in California just recently with the Ninth Circuit. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with California. But the PRO Act is AB5 for the nation. So they want to basically make it almost illegal to be an independent contractor in the country. Yeah. So just a heads up. So I send them, that's a totally different tangent, but so yeah, I send the guys 1099s at the end of the year. They know how much they're making, and then go ahead and I file my taxes Schedule C. So, what else?
Well, and I think that's one of the things that, when you're, tribute band or original material musician or blah, 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 insert here. The thing is that if you're going to do it right and you're going to be consistent and get to the level that Damage Inc. has gotten to, you need to have your fucking financial shit straight.
Yes.
And, even if it's the birth through an Excel sheet, finally coming over to QuickBooks. And I think that that's super overlooked. I mean, the thing is, if you just want to, be in any kind of band because you want to, get some pussy and you want to get some free drinks, then that's different. But if you're trying to make any source of income from this and have longevity in this, you need to fucking get your finances straight. And this
you got to treat it like that from the beginning.
Right.
As soon as you start making money, you need to treat it like that from the beginning. Right. There's also the whole hobby loss rules. So like, I mean, if you're not taking it serious and you're not doing all your paperwork, IRS can come back and say, that's just a hobby. So because that's a hobby,
you can't write a lot of stuff.
You can't write off any of your stuff.
Right.
So I'm looking at, the whole year of expenses as Kevin Knight. Right. And it's like, I can't pay the taxes on the whole year of expenses, especially when I'm giving money to the other people. Right.
Yeah.
So if you don't have your stuff in a row, then good luck,
Well, and just like how you talked about, so when in the early days, you were the one driving down an hour and a half to, pass stuff out at the gigs and do the flyers. And that's all cost out of your pocket, just like how you touched on where, what are you actually netting after all of the expenses? And the thing is that as fun as it is to, be on stage and play in front of people, if it's just costing you money fucking constantly, it's like, why are we even doing this? I mean, I could fucking play bass on my house by myself for a crowd of one,
Oh, that wouldn't be fun though, but
it wouldn't.
I still do that.
No, you guys are,
the reason why I'm not a musician, I'm an entertainer. I love being, obviously I'm an extreme extrovert. I love being around people. This COVID thing has been killing me being locked in my house, but just being out in front of people, there's nothing that beats it. Right. And being on stage and just rocking out with all the people out there is probably the greatest thing that I've ever got to do in my life. Right. It's just, I'm so glad to be able to do that. Like, every weekend, every other weekend, whatever it is,
Well, after COVID, hopefully it'll be a much more frequent because
we're actually starting to do
for a show.
We're actually starting to get back. So California has just opened indoor venues for under certain conditions. We just played a show last weekend in Lake Elsinore, which was it was a drive-in concert where the cars.
Oh, how cool! Yeah,
and I'm so happy because we got to do one of those before those aren't a thing.
Right.
Yeah. How did it go?
It went really well. It was fun. There were some people that were moshing that they had to.
Is that cars?
No, we thought Demolition Derby, right?
Yeah.
Right. No, it was they had some people that had got out of their cars and were moshing, and they had to go back to their cars a little bit. You know,
Right.
it's still because we're right in that phase where it's like, are we safe? Are we not? Are we
know,
in?
yeah.
We're in that real gray area.
The
Yeah.
lid's about to come the fuck off.
Oh, I think it is, and I think shows are coming back in a big way.
I
Um,
have 3 concerts that I'm waiting for that I still have tickets for to get fucking rescheduled.
I think they'll
And
happen.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'll happen this year, but I think that next year, and we've interviewed on this podcast Stanley Suarez, who is the sound guy for Megadeth. We've also interviewed Rafael Pensado, who is Vic Rattlehead with Megadeth, and Danny Munoz, who is like, you know, the sound guy for, you know, I can never say Calici and you know,
Caliucci.
Caliucci, thank you, Mariah Carey, a whole bunch of people. And we've had conversations about what it's going to look like. And, you know, Stanley very poignantly pointed out, I believe it was Stanley, that everybody's hitting the road at once. Like all the major bands, they make their money off of merchandise and touring. And the thing is that everything's, and now you have a whole bunch of people on the infrastructure side of it, as far as sound and moving and lighting, they had to get out of the business because they had to make a living to fucking feed themselves. And now you're going to have everybody just trying to hit the road, and there's going to be not enough people to do it. And so I'm sure there's going to be a bidding war in that sector. But man, I'll tell you, as an avid concert and show goer, I am dying. I would almost go see a country show, but
It's not that bad.
it's not that bad yet.
that
No,
bad.
but
I still like old school country. The new stuff is still kind of too poppy for me, but the old school stuff. Yeah,
I was
can
raised
get
on
behind
old
it.
school country, like Crystal Gale and Dolly Parton and Alabama,
okay.
Oak Ridge
Kenny
Boys,
Kenny
Dolly's
Rogers, Oak
back.
Ridge Boys,
Kenny Rogers,
Alan
yeah.
Jackson.
Oh yeah, we're talking. And I think that's probably why I have such a dislike for country now, even though I love me
It's
some
just
Dolly.
pop. It's just pop with some with where you pronounce your
Twang.
R's.
Yeah, and a twangy guitar, but either way, I'm totally not a fan of it. So the thing is that I know that you guys, so obviously your finances as far as running Damage Inc. has matured as you guys have grown a bigger audience, and I'm assuming have been, requesting more and more money for your gigs. But what do you think keeps, I know that you said you've had a couple changes, but your turnover in the band has been pretty minimal. So besides the love for performing and playing Metallica, what is it that's kept you guys together and successful? Because obviously transparency is a huge deal, especially in that sector. But like, as far as, keeping you cohesive, what do you think has been that? Obviously you and Chris are brothers.
Yeah.
So
I think that helps a lot, by the way, because the biggest fights in the band have normally been between him and I.
Right.
So he ended even like, hey, go after your mother. He's like, well, hey, that's my mother.
your
Like,
mother.
You're talking shit about our mother. You're like, oh, I hurt my feelings. I hurt my own feelings.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. We both love you. Happy Mother's Day is coming up.
So yeah, part of it is that luckily I've been fortunate to play with my brother. I get along really well with him. And so some of the larger fights have been with between him and I. Now, interesting story. So when we first started switching over from the cover band to the tribute band, our drummer Boyd at the time was kind of dragging his feet about not wanting to be in a tribute band. And so just in case, my brother had gone and put out an ad somewhere online. This was early days of the internet, so we didn't know, what online was. And he's more computer illiterate than I am. Yeah, exactly. So, so you got to keep your mouth fed somehow.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
Anyway.
Open mouths don't get fed.
Exactly. Well, depends on your neighborhood. Depends on the neighborhood. Depends on the neighborhood. But so we'd taken an ad out, but I'm like, this is dumb. Next time we do a rehearsal, we're just going to talk about it. Like, what's the deal? Do you want to do this? Do you not want to do this? What's up? Well, we showed up and he was prepared and everything was good. So it's like, at that point in time, it'd be kind of dumb to talk about, are you into this? Because he was obviously very into it. Let it cook for a couple months without even thinking about it. We get done we're at a break on a rehearsal. He hands us a printout. And it's the ad in like the Rhode Island Gazette or whatever my brother did on some weird webpage. And it's very clearly us looking for a drummer. And he's like, what is this? Like, what the heck is this? And like, I just want to know if I have a gig or not. Like, if I'm not, it's cool. I'll step away. It's fine. Funny story. We'd already fired him one time before without telling him. So this would have been number 2. It would have been extra messed up.
You're supposed to be telling us how you guys are so great at in being.
Yeah, I know.
So far, we're not
Oh, yeah.
on that track.
Well,
I want to remind you what the question was. Go ahead.
This is that moment. And so right then and there, I went, you know what? You're right. This is all the stuff we said about you behind your back. This is how we thought you felt. This is, all of the things that we've been talking about you without bringing it up. Here it is in front of you for you to digest, right? We don't think that anymore because of X, Y, and Z, but this is where we were at the time when the thing came up. And so he asked, hey, why didn't you talk to me? We're like, well, we were just afraid to talk. So we came up with kind of our 2 basic rules. And the first rule is, I don't care how good you are. If you bring any drama, you're gone. Right. Which we've modified to, if you're really talented, we could deal with a little bit of drama, but it has to be equal. You have to have equilibrium, like talent, drama. Okay. It's got to be somewhere in there. But the second one is you speak your mind, right? You make it ugly early. If you have a problem with something, we talk about it together. We have band meetings where we sit down, just go to like El Torito and sit down around a table and, hey, what's going on this year? Hey, I saw you doing this thing, social media. What is our plans? If anyone has any issues with anybody, we talk it out, right? Nobody in my band has been fired, right? My lead guitar player, Dave, left in 2006. Just shows were getting a little bit too much. His wife was sick, was very ill. And so he left to go work with that. But literally we asked Dave, what do you want to do? And he said, tomorrow I want you to put Chris Brightwell in the band. Who is our current, he is, don't tell him that, he'll leave me.
Dude, he is, you guys. Okay. I know he's not, I wish he was on here, but you guys, this motherfucker nails so many solos. Like you'll sit there and listen to it and you're watching his fingers and then and you're just like, motherfucker, like he nailed every fucking note. And
Chris is responsible for the music. So when he joined the band, we had a lot of fun.
Tell him I said hello and I love him.
I will. And when we're out there, we're going to all say hi to you.
Yes, absolutely. With drinks.
When we had Dave in the band, we had a lot of fun. We were thrashy and messy and just kind of that sloppy bar band. I got another fun story. So we do put Chris Brightwell in the band in 2006. We told him the 2 rules, right? Don't care how good you are. If you have any drama, you're gone. Second rule was speak your mind. And so he goes, okay, I got it. Second rule, he goes, you guys know you aren't playing these parts right.
Fucking, that's great.
So we're like, which parts? He's like, all of them. So we used to have an extra rehearsal in the beginning just with the guitar players to get and the bass player, because I'm the spirit animal, but to get all of us on the same page before we came together as a band to make sure that we're all playing the right notes. And Chris has this amazing, he is an absolute amazing musician. He hears all of the notes.
Yes.
He's like, oh, I was listening to it and they're not really playing F. It's like a F sharp and they half bend it a little bit. Like, who the heck can hear all that, right? He's that guy. So funny story, 2007, we played a Metallica fan club party called the Metalabash at the Queen Mary. And it's all the Metallica fan club members came all the way out to see the show. We had Harp Metallica play with 2 ladies that did Metallica and harps. We had our friends do Fat Metallica, a bunch of big guys that played Metallica stuff. We had a guy that had a book on philosophy in Metallica and he gave a speech. Well, at the time we had a bar minimum that we had to meet and I was very nervous about it. So I invited all of my drinking friends to come make sure that we had the bar minimum. Well, the problem with my drinking friends is they want to drink with me. So by the time we hit the stage, I think I had 12 beers and about 6 or 8 shots. I had an amp lined. An amp lined with beers. And then on stage, it's like a double shot of vodka, double shot of Jack, double shot, anything that came up, just drink. I actually jumped into the crowd and tipped my head back and just got drinks poured down my throat.
Nice.
4 songs before the end, I set my bass down and walked off the stage. I was just blacked out, done.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we call it the Alcoholocaust. So,
well, they did call Metallica Alcoholica.
Oh yeah.
So,
and my brother wasn't that far behind me. And so the 2 of us were hammered, and my drummer and Boyd at the time and Chris Brightwell were not. And so we had a very critical meeting that happened right after that, right? So the two guys wanted to quit, obviously, because we were very unprofessional and let it get away
Very
from us.
naughty.
And the two of us were really apologetic. But luckily the combination of those two is, and Brightwell asked us, he goes, do you want to be the bar band or do you want to be a professional band that does this for real? Right? That's an important decision you have to make
Yeah.
when you're doing this. Like, are you just doing this for fun on the weekends?
Yep.
You don't want to travel. You don't want to go to play bigger shows, or do you want to make something of this? Right? If you want to make something of this, you can't just get, smashed on stage every single weekend that you're playing. And so we came up with a rule of 2 drinks maximum before that. I've always pushed the boundary on that a little bit. I'm not going to say why.
Shocker. Yeah.
As long as you finish the show.
Yeah, but for the most part, well, what we learned is don't drink until you get on stage, because if drinks do come up at that point, then you can drink them and you're not, too bad. Now my brother quit 3 years ago, by the way.
Right.
He's like cold turkey quit drinking 3 years ago. It's amazing. Very proud of him for that. But yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. Like if you're in it just for the booze
and the pussy,
that's
have to take
wow. Does that make you uncomfortable?
So many funny stories. So many funny
words make you uncomfortable? Why? I think you blushed when I said that. That's amazing.
A little bit. So the funny story. So there's mistakes were made early on with these things. So when you're into the rock and roll lifestyle, you know, there's all the you date a bunch of women and etc. The fun part is the rock stars do that because they travel the country. So they have a girlfriend in Cleveland. They have one thing. When you have 4 women that you've been seeing that all show up to the same show,
ooh, that's not.
They can all just drive there.
Oh,
yeah, I learned that. I learned really, really early on that was not a good idea. Right. So it's like yes, it's cool, and some people do it. Right. For me personally, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. So for me, it's not my cup of tea, especially when, like, how do you got 4 ladies that showed up that all think that you're going home with them. You're like, by the way, yeah. Remember when I told you that I was seeing other people? Well, I really am.
Oh, here.
And there they are over there in the corner, glaring at me. Yeah, exactly. Everybody wave.
Yeah, and at each other. It's like, oh yeah,
no, that's awkward.
I just want to play all night. I just want to keep playing until everyone leaves.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but that was, early on when I was really young, and now, learn my lessons now, which is good. So I'm actually really happy. I got an amazing COVID girlfriend. So
COVID girlfriend. Nice.
Funny story. We just started dating right before COVID. And then COVID we knew each other for a long time. She's a musician. She played with, I'm going to mess it up. God dang it. The ones with Du Hast.
Rammstein?
Rammstein tribute. Yeah. She played keys in a Rammstein tribute. She's amazing. So we met and started dating, and then COVID happened. And I call it dry aging the relationship, because there's nothing to do except hang out.
Right.
So you hung out all
Make it or break it.
Exactly. So it's like, so I'm really happy now. But yeah, as you mentioned that stuff before, it's like, yeah, I've been there. That was a horrible idea, but
right. You got to try it.
He's like, it was a horrible idea. I mean,
it was horrible. Yeah, I did.
I never liked it. Never liked it. It. I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it again. Okay.
Let me one more
fine.
time, just to be sure.
Just in case.
Am I sure? Am I sure? Okay. Yeah.
You got to double check. You got to triple check. You got to
Yeah,
double check.
absolutely.
Just 4 more times. Just 4 more, 5 more, and that's it.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
What is the difference between a cover band and a tribute band?
It's a good question. We get that question a lot. So it depends on who you ask is the honest answer. Normally a cover band is a band that's going to play a bunch of different bands' music. So it's a cover band. It's like we're an 80s cover band. We play all the music of the 80s.
Okay, yeah.
Although I have seen bands that are a tribute to the 80s. Right?
Like the Yellow Brick Road here or something like that.
Oh, Yellow Brick Road. Oh, amazing. Brody.
Yeah.
I don't think is Brody still singing with them? No.
But you know what Brody is doing? He did like a Pink. Well, you went.
Symphonic rock.
Yeah, you went. You, me, and Ritual went.
Yeah, actually, Brightwell played with him on one or two of those shows with the Pink Floyd one.
Oh yeah, and it was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah,
Brody is so talented, and the music, the guy who plays every fucking instrument in the world. He plays the fucking fiddle. He plays the saxophone. You know who I'm talking about? I don't know his name, but he ended up leaving the Yellow Brick Road because they were playing too much.
Wow. You know,
Yeah.
those guys are like the quintessential cover band.
Okay, right.
They play everything. You'll hear a whole variety of music.
Mhm.
A tribute band tends to find one band,
Yep.
and their idea is to present that band's experience to you.
Right.
Now, you'll have some people that say it's not a tribute unless you dress like the people, you talk like the people, almost like an impersonator, like an Elvis impersonator. Like if
Yeah.
you went to an Elvis impersonator and in between in between songs, he's like, "Hi guys, my name is Gary. I'm really
Oh,
nice
yeah.
to see you guys." Then he drops into Elvis. Like it'd
With
be
the
a little
sideburns.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a little weird. So it
Like
depends
Purple
on.
Rain. Purple Rain is like
Yeah.
Mhm.
they played at my first wedding. That's the
Wow.
only reason I got married the first time
Wow.
was to have that.
That's good. It's a good
Yeah.
trade-off.
Oh
Good
yeah.
trade-off.
I mean,
a
and
lifetime
then
of servitude or whatever for
Right.
well,
Well,
no, and then
not
I
lifetime.
then I got divorced, and
Oh,
it was worth it.
Yeah, because she got to see Purple Rain, who I still haven't. No, I have seen them because they came with the Morris Day and the Time
oh.
with the they were
Fucking
doing
amazing.
Oh,
It was
Leo, Leo.
amazing.
Yeah.
But now I
Oh,
so I
yeah.
get it. So the tribute is just immersive kind of.
Not necessarily.
but
So
no,
to me, there's different.
okay.
There's different ways to tribute. So some people will say it's not a tribute unless it's an impersonation.
Okay, but you don't.
And then
You
we don't
impersonate.
impersonate.
No,
we
no.
don't impersonate. Now we do a little bit. We do like my brother will say some Hetfield things on the microphone when
Okay.
he's singing, or little bits. But at the end of the day, we've always wanted to just be us.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's one of the things that I think, and I'm not trying to. I don't know. I don't want to sound egotistical, but I think one of the things that sets us apart in a way is that we've never wanted to be above anybody. We've never wanted to be above the people that come to the show. We're just
Right.
fans. We just happen to be the fans on the stage playing the music. You know, like if we weren't on stage playing the music, we'd be in the crowd singing the songs.
Right.
You know, it's like we're no different, right? So by that, to me, doing an impersonation for us is almost disingenuous.
Yeah, I
Like
get it.
I want them to see Kevin having fun playing
Yeah,
Metallica.
yeah.
I don't want them to see Kevin pretending to be Robert Trujillo
yeah,
Right.
playing Metallica. It's
Right.
just but other bands do that, and there's nothing wrong with that too. I mean, it depends
Yeah.
on how
It's
they're
just
trying to
different.
present their tribute.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
get it. And my understanding from what I've read is that Metallica is really digs cover bands.
Oh, yeah.
and
If they're
tribute
good,
bands
if they're
they're
good.
good.
So
Yeah.
so a couple things. One, I got to meet Metallica in 2007, 2008.
Okay.
I met them. I got my girlfriend at the time had won a meet and greet and gave it to me as part of the meet and
Aw.
greet. So I got to go meet Metallica. I got to meet all four guys. That was Hetfield now doesn't do meet and greets. It's part of his
Okay.
new recovery thing where he doesn't want to be that involved all the time. He just wants to show up and play and just doesn't want it to dominate his life. And I totally get that. It's unfortunate, but I mean you've been doing it. He's been doing it for
struggles or sobriety for a really long time, and
Yeah.
and he's been doing it for 30 years, right? 30 years of your life. And now it's like, I totally understand that.
Mhm.
But I did get to meet all four of them, and we gave them all a picture of us to them and a CD and a
Aw,
DVD of us to them and t-shirts and stuff. I give all that stuff to them to and just like a thank you for this amazing music and thank you for letting us perform this amazing music. And it was really like Lars was super cool. Lars came up, and I think at the time Death Magnetic had just dropped, which is their 2 albums ago. And he comes up to me and goes, "So do you know any songs off of Reload?" And Reload is one of their more obscure albums that came out in the late 90s.
not super great.
I like it personally. I like all Metallica, with maybe the exception of Lulu, which is a collaboration album they did with Lou Reed that's unique. It's a very unique album.
Unique.
I haven't even heard of it, so
It's very artistic. If you like, apparently, if you like Lou Reed, it's like a total Lou Reed album. with
yeah, I'm not
Metallica
a
as an
fan of Lou
backing
Reed.
band.
Yeah, my
Oh,
mother
man,
loves
I
Lou
am.
Reed, but
I'm not
okay,
a fan of,
there
and
you
I'm not
go,
a fan
really.
of the editing for Saint Anger, which was to me it was the album that kept Metallica together. But Reload was the one before this, and so he's like, "Do you know all of Reload?" Which is obvious. It's a loaded question. So I'm like, "No, we don't." And he's like, "Yeah, either do we." So I was like, that was super cool. And I'm like, "But we're learning some songs off of Death Magnetic." He's like, "Hey, so are we." It's like
He just
super
keeps
nice.
one upping you.
Right.
He just keeps
Yeah.
one upping you on the hilarity.
Super Lars. What's really funny is I was most excited to meet Robert Trujillo and least excited to meet Lars because the whole Napster and all the things you
Right.
hear about Lars.
Yeah.
It was the complete reverse when I met him. Robert Trujillo is so mellow that when you talk to him, it's like you almost don't want to like harsh his buzz. Like he's just like, "Hey, how you doing, man?"
I
I'm
would
like,
think Kirk would be like that.
"I play you in a Metallica tribute band," and he's like, "That's really cool. That's so neat. Oh, thank
How
you
you
so
doing, man?
much." And you're like, okay, you have a good day.
I would think Kirk would be like that. He'd just be like, hey, I just got done surfing and, meditating. And
Kirk is cool. Kirk is really cool. He just exudes cool. And
yeah,
then, but Lars like showed up and he's just like bubbly, amazing personality. And he's just like, it makes you feel really welcome when you're around him. It was really cool to meet him. And then Hetfield has an aura. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. When Hetfield walked into the room, it's like the whole room changed.
Wow.
Right. The other guys are standing around, everything's fine. Hetfield walked into a room and it's just like,
oh,
what's really funny is I have pictures of all of me with all of them. And it's like Rob, Kirk, Lars, James. I look like James's girlfriend. I'm just like,
That's so cool. Oh,
oh my God.
oh.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, Metallica's cool with tribute bands. We even have a CD that's available on iTunes and stuff of our covers.
mhm.
Or our covers of Metallica songs, and so it was really easy to work with. The publishing company is Creeping Death Music, which owns all the Metallica stuff, which is Metallica also.
Mhm.
So I send them a check every quarter for royalties. It's
Yeah.
it's not a ton of money, but I'm doing what I got to do to
Yeah.
we don't make $1 billion on the CD, but it's nice to have something available if people want to be able to
Yeah.
and
take you with them or share you around.
yeah, and I want you to plug that. But real quickly, I want to touch on the licensing thing because we've
Yes.
covered licensing in this podcast multiple times now
Yes.
about how anytime a song is performed, it needs to have royalties. And we actually talked about this on our most recent NFT episodes,
Yes.
where we talked about who owns what when you purchase an NFT. So all of
And
this
what
shit
the
is
fuck
related.
NFT is.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And so all this shit is related. And so I'm so fucking happy that in this, again, you guys, this is the difference between like what Chris had told you guys. You want to be a bar band or you want to do this shit for real. And bless you. And the thing is that that's the mindset that changes. You're like, okay, we are playing somebody else's music and we're getting paid off of it. There is royalties that are due, whether it's big, small, or whatever. And I think that first of all, the fact that Metallica is even cool with that is amazing because, like with Gene Simmons, if you do any type of Kiss, if you want to wear the makeup, you have to go through a whole big, thing. But I think that adds to how big Metallica is. Like Grateful Dead back in the day, when, before MTV and social media, people would come in and they would bootleg their concerts. And Grateful Dead embraced this. They didn't get on a big fucking, shit show about it and they get pissed off. As a matter of fact, they took their audience and they sectioned off. They said, hey, you guys, this is where, if you want to record our concert, this is where all the recorders go because this is where the best sound is. And what happened is they built their fan base by all of these bootlegs getting played all the time because they changed their set all the time, just like Dave Matthews does. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that I think that yes, there's a certain amount of protecting your assets, but at some point when you have something that is so loved like Metallica music, when you allow it, because not everybody can see Metallica all the time,
right?
But you can go see, tribute bands more often than actual Metallica. And I just think that's amazing. And the fact that you took the time to go through the licensing is, again, that's the mind shift between we do this for pussy and beer versus I'm making an income off of this and this is the real deal shit. Mm-hmm. And you guys have got
you don't want to get shut down for just a technicality, right? I mean, so the
ridiculous.
What's funny is it was very challenging to figure out who to pay, right? How do you pay them, right? So I finally was able to track down the contact information. What most people do nowadays, and what's hilarious is after I got everything in place, like a couple of years later, it's really easy. There's an agency called Harry Fox Agency. You go there, you say, I want 10,000 digital downloads, and you pay them ahead of time. They pay the royalties to whoever you're doing that for, and you can upload your CD. All right. So it became really easy. There's a lot of avenues out there for publishing cover songs and at least getting the royalties to the right people. Streaming, by the way, still has not caught up. Mm-hmm. I found at one point in time, we don't normally do streaming. We just do digital permanent downloads. But at one point in time, I got an email. I got an email from somebody saying, "Hey, you're not paying royalties on one of your streams." And I'm like, I don't really have streams. But it turns out iTunes has a locker service that if you have your music in iTunes, you can stream it on your different devices. So somehow iTunes got grandfathered in to where they don't have to pay royalties to the artist. They pass that on to the CD owner to pay the royalties. So I go, okay, well, I guess I missed a royalty. So I go look it up and I do the math and I go back like 3 years of whatever the CD's been since I got the thing. I'm like, oh, I guess, we haven't got it. I do all the calculations and the thousands and thousands of streams and crunch all the numbers. And I go, okay. And I sent them an email back. I go, I've done all the numbers. So sorry about that. Here's all the data. I owe you 20 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a reimbursement for my check.
Mm-hmm.
And I never heard from them again.
Well, and again, I'm going to go back to other episodes that we've talked about on this podcast. And Rick DeJesus from Adelita's Way was very specific talking about streaming because, Taylor Swift had a whole big war against Spotify and then she pulled her shit and then she went back on it. And, Rick DeJesus from Adelita's Way, he busted that myth. He's like, no, you do get paid for streaming. The problem is that when there's masters that are owned by somebody else, you're getting like a little tiny fraction of it. And so when you're looking at, any type of music as a business, there's all these avenues that different money can come in, but please understand and believe that every single revenue stream that comes in, people are taking off the top of that motherfucker.
Oh yeah. We just put up an online store. So we just put up an online store, but it's all drop. Yeah, but it's all drop shipping. So it's not, the best part about drop shipping is that I don't have to carry an inventory, right? I can make 50 different designs of shirts and make an inventory. The worst part about drop shipping is everything has to be expensive because just like you're saying, everyone takes a cut, right? So we go through a company called Printful.
Yep.
Printful charges us, say for a $20 shirt, they charge you $11.
Yep.
Right. Then they charge you for shipping. Then they charge you for tax. Then you collect the money. Whoever you collected the money from, if it's PayPal, if it's Squarespace or Wix or whoever, they take a cut.
Yep.
Then you transfer the money. When you transfer the money, there's another cut.
Yep.
So if you don't, you actually, unfortunately, you have to raise your prices on your site. So if you're going to do drop shipping, you have to raise your prices on your sites. Because I thought I had a nice, fairly priced shirt. And at the end of the day, it was like, here's your dollar. I'm like, like what? Like here's $1 for the shirt you just bought. So if you're going to do a revenue stream, if you're going to do inventory, obviously the best way to do it is actually have inventory on hand and deal with that. Right. But then it's how much is your time worth?
Right. Absolutely.
Right? So do you want to be running to UPS or having a UPS call tag and they come by every week or every day or whatever? What's that going to cost? And what's that cost to your time and sanity? If that's the only thing you got going, go for it.
Yeah.
Right. If it's other,
Yeah. And we do drop shipping as well. So I mean, once I calculated all the numbers, I'm like, wait a minute, am I going to be paying people to buy my shirt?
Almost. Yeah. I came this close. Close on a couple shirts. I'm like, oh, I almost ended up owing for that shirt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's where it comes down to a numbers thing. So you can have the love of music, but the music business is a business. Yes. And there's all kinds of shit that comes into it. I mean, obviously you need to have talent, but you gotta have a financial head on you too. Yeah.
And when you're in the cover or tribute scene, typically you're making, if you're doing well, you're making decent money from just playing the show. For your performance fee is covering a lot, right? So a lot of the touring bands make a lot of their money on merch, right? But for us, typically we get a decent performance fee for playing a show. For me, the shirts are all about promotion. Yeah. Right. Somebody walking around with one of these shirts on and somebody's like, hey, who's that? Exactly. Right. Who's that? Now, so you walk
this rack.
Exactly. Yeah. See?
Look at that rack.
I know. Thank you.
It's damaged in.
It's mostly padding.
You can't even pay for advertising like that in most counties.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could, but
in some counties, I still think it's legal, but
yeah. In Vegas for sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit legal in Vegas. We love this
Everything
city.
is. Yep. Yeah, we
goodness.
do.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of this is, as long as you think of it as promotion, it's a good way to go. It's just don't, especially as a cover and tribute band, don't expect to get rich on it, but use it as a vessel for getting out there. Right. I've seen bands out there that go and buy likes on social media. You can go pay a company. You can get 300,000 likes on your site. You look like you own the world, right? I've seen one tribute band that went from like 10,000 in a year, and then immediately they had like 280,000 followers on Facebook. And it's like, that's great. But when you show up and nobody shows up to your shows because they're all from Czechoslovakia or Eastern Europe somewhere, like it'll get you a gig, but it won't keep the gig for you. Right. That's the things that keep gigs for you is be professional, be easy to work with, be humble, right? And be good. right? In that order. Or you could be a horrible band, but if you have the first three, they'll have you back. Right. That's the thing is, just be easy to work with and professional. All right. Nobody cares, about your ego. They don't want to have to deal with it. They just want you to be able to play there. And for most of what we do is we're professional beer salesmen.
I was going to say they're making their money on the drink sales.
We love playing the music of Metallica. We love having the opportunity to play it. At the end of the day, we're professional booze salesmen, right? We're there to get people in the venue or restaurant, depending on what it is. We're there to get people in the venue, have a good time, to drink, to eat, to make the venue money. All right. And if the venue makes money, we make money, everybody's happy. Right. And some people get out of that. It's like, it's all about the art and those things. And I can completely understand that, but there's still a bottom line.
Right.
You could have the most amazing original band that you've ever come up with. And it's these beautiful pieces of music. And if people aren't coming out to see it, if you can't put the butts in the seats,
right,
you're just not going to make it. You're not going to get, people aren't going to ask you back, and you're not going to be able to make money on it because there's no money to be made. Right. Now my brother has had a rant before. Unfortunately, we didn't film it, about ticket prices with tribute bands. Like, there's some venues out there that I think overcharge for tribute bands, right? A tribute band should be an easy, accessible band to see. Like, tickets should be $10, $15. If it's like an amazing tribute band or a couple amazing tribute bands, $20, something like that, where it's like, oh, okay, I'll pay for that. If you start charging like real band prices for tribute bands, as far as ticket sales, it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, the whole thing for us is to get people in there to see it for cheap and make your money at the bar, make your money at the restaurant.
Right.
And I don't understand that, because as a venue, your profit margin is on the liquor.
Yeah.
So why would you not, I don't understand.
Sometimes it's not all of them. Actually, most of the venues we play know this, and especially the ones that we go back to over and over and over.
Right.
Right. But every once in a while you'll get one and it's like $30 tickets. Like, for what?
Yeah. So when are you guys coming back to Vamped?
Soon, as soon as we can.
Dude, it is an event, and I'm not even kidding you. Like, you think like I'm joking. No, Zoe and I want a fucking table. First of all, I don't fucking stand around anymore unless I want to. I sit and I get drunk and I eat really good food. So
I have a bum knee.
Right now, I'm gonna text.
She has a bum knee. She has a bum knee. She just.
I'm older than both of you. I have to sit down. Grandma needs a seat. Mom.
I'm gonna text my manager right now.
Okay.
An email right now to let him know.
The door. Okay, come on.
I got it. Okay. Boom.
Here comes my ginger boy.
So
one of my
if we play, when we play Vamped, we'll get you a table.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that very much. We will be.
And if I could have it near the toilet, that would be wonderful.
No, it's not.
You don't want it too near the toilet.
I'm joking.
Especially don't want it near that coffin where the phone booth is.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what the fuck it is with Vamped, but their bathrooms are like 40 fucking degrees. Winter, summer, fall, spring, 40 fucking degrees. I every time I go in there,
it's not bad in the summer. That's not bad in the summer.
It's still, well, I mean, if you're on stage, maybe, but if you're in a fucking dress and, it's a little bit.
But you can't tell if your nipples are getting hard because of that or because of the vodka you've been drinking. So
well, exactly.
Because of the band.
I have fake insert nipples, so I just walk around with nipples hard constantly.
Me too. Who doesn't? I have extra. I have a couple on the back too, just in case.
Dude, we should compare nipple sizes. We should compare nipple sizes. So
I'll measure.
Yes. Oh, there you go. So Zoe will help us out. So
I'll be the referee.
Do tell us where they can find your iTunes on CD, or just send them wherever you want to send it. And then we have some questions for you.
Some real questions.
Really easy. Damage Inc., Southern California's tribute to Metallica. You can find us on our website, www.damageinc.us, facebook.com, Instagram, Twitter, @SoCal Damage Inc. YouTube is Damage Inc. Tribute. So that's all of our stuff.
How about MySpace?
I think we still have one somewhere.
No, you don't.
No, we actually. Yeah, I don't know. We might.
Is MySpace still around? Honestly,
it is, but it's like you don't want to look at it.
There's 500 people on it, or
you just don't want to see it. It's like like an orange that's been kept in a bag in the sun for 10 years. You just don't want to open it. Just don't
No.
open it.
Okay.
You know it's in there. You know it's in there.
I never
There's a
had a
lot of things.
MySpace. I never had a
didn't either.
MySpace, and it took me years to get on Facebook.
That was my first thing. Oh no, cat. My cat didn't show up.
Here's mine. Here's
Oh
one of
my
mine.
goodness, he looks just like mine.
This is Paddy.
I think all orange cats look
my
the same.
Patty. Not always, but he does look a lot like my cat.
Where
There you
is
go,
the
baby.
Where is the pin I got you? That looks like
Oh.
Pepsi.
Okay.
Oh my
Right
my
here.
cat.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
That's awesome.
All right. So
Yes. So okay. go
serious
ahead.
question time
Yeah,
now.
Zoe-
motherfucker.
Hold on. Let me get my serious question beer.
Yes. Get,
Okay.
yes, get
Let's,
us here. Oh,
let
and-
me,
and- oh, wait a minute. So just so you know, Kevin, we're documenting your answers to these questions
Okay.
in this book.
People I want to punch in the face. Oh, I had a good one. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So now when we see you, you're going to sign the book.
Okay.
Okay. So at our table,
Yes.
you can come out and sign the book, and we'll have
at your table.
advanced. Yeah. And we'll have a shot. Maybe right before you go on stage. So that way it doesn't kick in until like 3 or 4 songs. And
I'm sorry, I don't understand these words you're saying. It just
Okay,
sounds like it's just like baby talk. Like I don't understand.
la, la, la.
I thought I was talking with adults.
dude,
Yeah,
Zoe and I will
alcohol.
get there early, and we will fucking pig out, and we will start drinking, and we'll probably, like you were,
I'll be
4
home by
songs in,
9.
we'll be
Yeah.
fucking-
I got hit at Vamped one time. These ladies had put a drink on the stage that looked like a drink. It was a lowball glass. It looked like a drink, and I took a drink, and it was like straight whiskey. I already took like a big chug of it. I'm like, oh, here we go. Oh my
Hi, that's Belle. This is Belle. Hi,
Oh my
Belle.
goodness.
Yeah, I could keep going like all night because
If my cat would come along, I would grab him. But I'm in the
another
garage,
time.
so he kind of comes in and out. So
Yeah, well, you still have a couple chances for your cat to come in. So okay,
are we getting going?
Yes,
do it.
we have 4 questions that we
Uh-huh.
ask all of our guests, and Zoe is gonna start us out.
I have a
With number
calculator.
one. Number one, Kevin.
Zoe, your glasses are crooked. I don't
I
know.
know. I just noticed that. I think I may have sat
You
on
look
them
like a
last night.
fucking nerd. Thank you. Your
Yeah.
glasses are also crooked.
All right,
we go.
Kevin.
all
Let's
of a
get
sudden-
serious.
All of a sudden, you guys can't see it if you're not watching on YouTube. Every one of us fucking put on our glasses like fucking I need to have another drink of kettle because now I feel old as shit because I
age is
grabbed
no
my
joke.
fucking glasses.
It's fucking not. I
The Grim
managed to.
Reaper waits for no
I
man.
know. I managed to make it all the way to 48 without needing glasses, and now I can't see a fucking thing without them. So,
COVID 44. I finally started. I went to go like repair a guitar or repair one of my basses, and I was like, I
Mhm.
can't see. I'm like, I think I need some reading glass. These are reading glasses.
yeah,
Yeah,
these
these
are
are-
reading ones.
I
They're
have
all
reading
reading,
ones, but these are prescription too. Anyway, let's stop talking
Okay.
about us all wearing glasses.
and all being old because we're really still fucking sexy with it.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
See me in a
Age
dress.
is just a number. It just happens to be
Yeah.
a large number.
Yeah, it's mine is just a
Well,
little
it's
bit
not
closer
triple
to
digits.
50
Shit,
than
you
yours.
guys.
Yeah. Okay, number one, Kevin.
Yes, that's who we're interviewing.
Okay,
Is that
sorry.
my name? Yes, that is my name. Boom. Number
Good
2.
job. That was the answer to the question.
Next,
one. You
number
got it.
2.
done.
Number 2.
That's it. I'm done. Peace out.
Mic
Uh,
drop. Fuck
For a
it.
second, I thought I'd skipped forward to the trivia show, I think. Okay. What was the first concert you ever attended?
First real concert?
Mhm.
Oh, that's a challenge. So weird. My first concert I remember going to was actually Jubilation at Knott's Berry Farm, which was a bunch of Christian concerts because I was very active at the time in my Baptist church.
I love it. Wow, Baptist.
Yeah, Southern Baptist Church out of Westminster.
Oh shit.
Really,
I'm
really
from the South.
amazing people. It's just for me, it didn't work out for me eventually, but that was the first concert I remember going to was Jubilation at Knott's Berry Farm.
And
Wow.
what
But
year was
first
that?
real concert, Metallica 1998.
Nice. But when was
Oh,
Jubilation?
geez, don't even put that down because that's weird.
No,
Metallica,
it's fantastic.
1998. What album was that on?
That was on the
Load?
Load album.
Load album. Yeah.
Load or no, it
Would
was
have been
Reload. No, it was
Was it
Reload.
Reload?
It was Reload because they did the acoustic set, and the acoustic set was during Reload.
They toured for Reload?
Yes. Load had this double stage, this huge double stage. It was this giant production. Reload, they went really small.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw them on the Black Album tour.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
So funny story. I didn't get into metal until 1996. My brother's always been into Metallica. I didn't do it until I joined the Marines. I saw AC/DC. I saw a Marine inspirational video with AC/DC's Hell's Bells with the helicopters and the Marines. I'm like, ooh, I like this. Like, who's that? They're like, that's AC/DC. Like, went and got Back in Black, and then
Got to.
I saw the Metallica Black album, and I got them both. Listened to Back in Black. It was like, that's awesome. Put in the Metallica Black album, and I'm like, I'll be right back. Went and got Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Just for All, and just.
And the Black Album gets so much shit. And fucking Of Wolf and Man. Fuck you. That song is amazing. Yes, I get it, Inner Sandman, but that's what they wanted because the Dr. Feelgood had came out and they always talk shit about Motley Crue, who is my favorite group. Always talk shit about Motley Crue. Then they went got the same fucking producer and then came out with the Black Album and everyone's like,
there was no Inner Sandman, there'd be no Metallica today. I mean, that's not necessarily true. Sorry, Metallica, if you ever watch this video, that's not exactly true. But Inner Sandman was a crossover hit, right? Inner Sandman put him into the mainstream, right? It was a big enough hit that everybody that knows, if you don't know Metallica, you at least know Inner Sandman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so question 2, Kevin, right?
Yes.
Kevin. Okay. How much money is in your wallet right now?
I don't even have my wallet on me, but I bet you. Oh, actually, I lied. It's right here. I bet you it's $1.
I want to see it. Flat. Act like I'm a stripper and start showing me. Really,
Ooh.
$1.
$1.
Oh, my kind of, yeah.
Nice.
That's my kind
I don't
of
carry cash either.
This is in case I find a homeless person that needs $1.
Oh, that's nice.
We've had
I totally made that up. I want to sound cooler than I am.
Yeah.
we've had surprisingly amazing answers to that question. Of
Yes.
course, yours wasn't as great, but we've had really good answers to that questions. You know, we're gonna go past it. Go ahead.
Oh, don't worry. You can do well with the next question.
Yeah, we're pulling for you on the last two.
Okay. Question 3, Kevin.
Yes, that's my name.
What is your favorite swear word?
Oh, what have I been using so much?
You have to.
I think I like fuck face.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh,
fuck face is a good one, especially when you're driving. Like, what are you doing, fuck face?
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I do like that one. Yeah,
that's a great one. So when I was in high school, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you can't see it, but my male friends in high school, they'd always go fuck face like that. And so
do that again.
Fuck face. And
fuck face.
I'm sorry, my glasses in the way. Let me do it.
I like
face like that. Yeah.
I wonder if that's in the
that way deaf people can enjoy it
language.
Too.
Yeah.
That way deaf people can enjoy it too.
They're like, yeah, fuck that. Like, fuck that guy. I'm like, yeah, fuck him.
Oh, love that. Well done.
Yes. Thank you. That was my senior year.
My work here is done.
You're welcome. All right. So question 4.
Okay.
Question 4 and the final 4. Okay. What song, and I want you to really think about this because people give us varied answers. What song do you like to get your groove onto? I mean sex. I don't mean dancing.
Oh,
get your groove
with somebody or
however you want to swing it, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Barney.
When I think about me, I touch myself. So do you?
That's a good one.
I know.
That's a good one.
He thought a bit.
I did.
It depends on the mood, right? There's a couple different moods there.
Dude, give me all the moods. I want all of them.
Mouth for War by Pantera.
Really?
Don't you judge me.
All right. Dude, I'm not hating it. I'm not hating it. Is that it? I thought.
Oh, is there more? Are there more?
We don't know. You know, you're the one getting the mood on.
Yeah, I mean, you said you had multiple
right here in front of people. No, I was just thinking. We'll just pick that one. That's a good one.
That's a good one. That'll leave you. No, Dancing with Myself by Billy Idol. It's about masturbation, you guys. Just in case nobody filled in the blanks.
I did. I
listen to that one every once in a while. When
earlier today, whatever. It's cool.
Yeah, things happen. Walking by the mirror, you don't think anything. You're like, hey, what's up?
Oh, I'm looking good today.
Dude, don't get me in a bar. You get fucked up and all of a sudden you go in the bathroom. You're like, I look good. I'd fuck me. You're like, hey, you see the girls in there like, fuck yeah. And they all
We
look
can make
like
this
raggedy
happen.
bitches, fucking eyeliner
Oh, I
down
know,
here and down
yeah.
there. And I've been one of those before, so fuck it. I
Oh,
don't give
Me
a
too.
shit.
Me too. We all have.
Yeah, but I keep my shoes on. I don't take my shoes off. So before we get out of here, Kevin, we want to thank you. This has been fucking awesome.
been
Even
so
though
much
Thank
fun.
you so much.
even though we did have to wait for you
I'm
for like
sorry.
30 minutes.
So I got a regular day job. Like the only thing with the music is as much as it's fun, you can't make a living on it if you want to make a really good living.
Right.
So
Well,
Fuck that shit.
I think Zoe, since he made us wait for 30 minutes, he should buy the first shot for us.
let's do it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I
we
got
can
a
do that.
dollar somewhere.
Yeah,
I know.
say.
That's, he's gonna buy and tip. Bam! Here's a dollar.
Oh.
What'd you think about that,
Keep the
bartender?
change. Keep the change, ladies.
That's right.
Oh.
Just for you.
Oh, they gonna love you in Vegas.
That's
Making
because
it
I'm a
rain.
gentleman. That's because I'm a gentleman.
I know. I can see it. I can see it.
There's a little drizzle.
Bam! That's a little taste of what's nothing else is coming, but that little taste.
That's it.
I have
Right.
this and ATM receipts. That's all I got going on.
And some receipts from Walmart where I had to get groceries. But other than that, so plug all your stuff one more time before we go in our closing stuff. And oh my God,
What?
I didn't freaking talk about Kill Pop.
Oh no, we gotta do Kill Pop.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Okay,
Plug all your
real
stuff,
quick.
man. I want to
Real
hear
quick.
everything about it.
Damaging. Southern California's tribute to Metallica. Damaging.us, Facebook, all the social media at SoCal Damage Inc. And then YouTube is Damaging Tribute. Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate you.
You're very welcome.
great.
This has been
So
a
much
blast.
fun. I can't
And-
believe it's already been an hour and a bit.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's been
Time flies.
a little
Look at
bit. And so real quick, this announcement should have been made at the top of the hour. So for those of you, this episode will Sundays in the morning on Killpop, KILPOP.com. Carlota has started her own station. She was she's been a longtime radio DJ. We also interviewed her and she spoke about Killpop. They have officially launched their radio station. It is a formatted radio station for a lifestyle. It is not based on a genre. You'll have, you'll hear Beastie Boys Root Down pressed up against Battery by Metallica, pressed up against Pantera, pressed up against, Ozzy with Post Malone. And you guys need to go download the app, KILPOP.com. And we will be having our podcast airing on there Sunday mornings between 8 and 9. And this podcast will be replayed on that. So please go check out, get her app. She's fucking amazing. She programs all the music. She was the program director here at Comp. Fantastic. And then of course, as always, you can follow Finance is the Other F Word on social media. You can find us on our YouTube channel, Finance is the Other F Word. Follow us on TikTok. If you go to financestheotherfword.com/links, everything we do is right there. Follow Lily Lou Mittens on Instagram. And of course, our book, Finance is the Other F Word, Another F Word to Love, is available at Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Target, and Amazon. And with that, I think we are out this bitch.
I think we are.
Thank you guys so much.
It's been great. Bye, Kevin. Oh, put that away.
No, keep it
I
out.
don't know. I don't know if you wanted the metal thing.
I
don't know if
do.
you-
Of course.
No,
she does,
give me the tongue so I can end on it. Yes.
Oh, nice. Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you like us, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.